Ecological solutions, we will take our funding from critical ecosystem partnership for conducting, for doing wakal or choiseul from Mount Maitambe, Kasem Kolobangara River watershed. The whole idea of the project is for doing biological inventory, scientific studies or research. So we go around Kasem every chief, inform him more about project and ask him ting block it was like project there too.
The expedition was organized in collaboration with Laru Land Conference of Tribal Communities, Choiseul Province Government, South Pacific Regional Environment Program, international and national partners, local scientists, Solomon Islands National University, environment graduates, and landowners of tribes along the Kolobangara to Mount Maitambe Strip. This was the first baseline biodiversity inventory of Mount Maitambe Kolobangara River Corridor.
Part of expedition was for also collaborate one time visiting scientists from overseas, for collaborate one time local scientists, graduates from SI, Somali National University, graduates from USP, and over the other young scientists were work a lot of different organizations in the country, including Ministry of Forestry and the Environment Department, government, Somaliland government. And in that way, building capacity local level and collaboration with the overseas institutions.
This important survey was also part of Choiseul Province Medium-Term Development Plan 2012 to 2014. This includes documentation of historical, cultural, and ethnobiological data. The site is one of the last vestige of intact tropical rainforests left in the entire province. For that matter, possibly one of the last large swaths of unbroken forest left in the entire country.
Interest blowing fala and focus law. But try to do away with logging and to preserve him now water especially and with forest plumifala for future generation will for use him. Not only future mifala this time too. We will need him for use him now at resources where mifala garem land plumifala.
There were 3 teams that carried out biological surveys at 5 different sites along the Reef to Ridge corridor. Camp 1 was a few kilometers up the Kolobangara River from Sasamonga village. The second camp was further upstream at Siporai. To get to the camp, the scientists had to walk all day before a boat was able to pick them up and take them upstream. Here they continued with the surveys of freshwater fishes, frogs, birds, and mammals. A midstream camp was made further inland from Siporai at Jito. There was another site at Sarelata at the foothills of Mount Maitambe. Preliminary finds show that at least 10 species from frogs and reptiles, freshwater fish and crustaceans, are new to science. This shows that many species are still accounted for, and perhaps there remain several species extant still. Freshwater sampling in the upper reaches of the Kolombangara River also found large and thriving populations of fish faunas rarely seen in other streams in the Solomon today. These populations are today extremely vulnerable to habitat degradation caused by logging. A few species of birds dominated the forest, including whistlers, monarchs, sunbirds, flycatchers, and Myzomela. A pitta, a ground bird found in tropical moist forests and in Solomon Islands only discovered in intact forest, was found at Sarelata. Today, this species is threatened by habitat loss. The vegetation of this landscape was characteristic of old-growth forest with large grown canopy trees and saplings and understory trees closer to the ground. Vegetation in the upper reaches of the island was covered in moss, and there were many species of ground orchids. There is a critical need of forest management across the Solomon Islands. Our surveys highlighted the seriousness of working closely with tribes and communities to better manage forest resources. Hence, by understanding what is there, the values of unpolluted clear streams, access to water, fish, wilderness and forest, wood products and biodiversity assets, and managing that based on conservation and economic models is important, but more so enabling communities to utilize resources in a less destructive way that encourages and supports education and training and improves simple standards of living.